Hello, just going to do a tutorial here. It's going to be basically trying to create an acid sound, an acid psychedelic lead sound. I've just basically done just a bass, kick, snare, hats, and then I've done the acid lead. I'll show you how to create it and all the effects. We'll be using V-Station for this. Very simple to use. And we'll go through that. I'll play it and then we can listen to how it sounds, and then I'll explain in detail how it's all made. Okay, so that's pretty much what I threw together to get this acid lead. I'll also do the bass line as well, but I'll do that in another tutorial, so more than likely it'll be linked to this video later on if it's not already linked there. Okay, so what we're trying to do is put down a basic pattern. So this is all it is. You can do single notes, so I'll just bring it down to a single note so you can have a listen. The sound on its own sounds like this. And that's with effects and what have you. I'll take all these off so you get a good idea. I'm going to load up V-Station. And what you want to do is, we're only using one oscillator here, so you can bring down all the other ones just by selecting here. Just turn the first one up, doesn't matter how much by. And we want to detune it. You can bring it down one octave or just leave it, because you'll be changing the notes in here, so it doesn't matter if you use an octave or not. And we're using a sawtooth saw wave. That's good. And you want to bring the filters right up so we can get all the frequencies in there. The next thing we'll need to do is change the amp envelopes, the tack down so that it won't fade in, and we want a solid release or very little. It's up to you. You can have about 0.05. If you look at the top on the left hand side, it will show you here the percentage that you're going up. So it's 1 at the top and 0 down at the bottom. So I don't know. Depends on how you like it. If you like a little release, a little bit more sound after that hits, then you can change the release. The mods envelopes, you can play around with those settings. They pretty much don't do a major bit, but you can tell the difference a little bit. Okay, so next, if we click this extra, we'll see a pre-glide, and that basically does what it says. If you know about portamento and it's sliding from one note to another, what this does is it already makes it happen. So you're already at one sort of pitch and then it will slide down to another. So if we play it from here, these settings we got something like this. This is the good part. This is where the portamento comes in. If you look down at the bottom section, the time is how long it takes for that slide to happen, or that glide. So if we turn it on, I'll show you how it works. So that's pretty much how you get a basic acid lead. From there on, the settings can be changed to your liking. You can change the overdrive as well if you want. So that's really up to you how you want to mess around with that. What we'll do is we go now into the mixer and we'll show out how we put down some effects. I started out with a chorus, This is one of the default choruses, I think. It's probably just one of these, I can't remember which one. You can change the settings, it's really up to you and how you want it to sound. But that basically makes it a good stereo effect, widens it up in the stereo field. That sounds like it's the filter one, which is filter row. We had a love filter. This is what gives it that characteristic, really. This is done two ways. It's done with two filters. The first one is a high pass filter. That's turned on, and we cut that. The second one is a band pass, a BP filter. It's on the alternate dual setting, filter mode. And what we've done, what I've done, is I've also linked it to a formula controller. Now, the formula controller on its own, that's pretty much, I think it's one of the advanced settings. You can change the settings, the formulas in there if you want, so that's good. Okay, so from here what I've done is, if I turn on the filter, I don't need to do it. There we go. There we go. You see the cut on the filter. That's being controlled by this formula controller. What I have done is I've put an input and times that by 0.75. So what that basically does is it doesn't cut it all out, but it cuts 75%. So depending on how much it moves, it does. So if you did it a whole 100 or just left it as a full input, you get right to the top of the filter and it will cut out the sound altogether. It will cut out all those high, low ends. So I've just done some experimentation on here and that worked pretty well. So we put the filter on, we'll see this cut move and you hear it change within the sound. Okay, I've added a Camel Crusher. This is basically a free plugin that you can download for yourself. CamelAudio.com. This is a great tool. This gives it the roughness of what you would normally have. This just roughens it up really. I've added a fruity parametric EQ. It's basically just normal sounds. So you're cutting out most of the low end, just boosting up some of the highs, cutting out where we don't need the really high treble frequencies. That will sit in the hi-hats and what have you there. And then I've also added a dual delay. You can add delay, the normal fruity delay, which is here, this first one. Just make sure you change the mode to ping pong, and that gives a great effect. But what this delay has done for me is given me a stereo delay, which is brilliant for what I need. So with a chorus fattening it up, what I'll do, okay, so I'll add each one individually as we go through, and we can hear how each one sounds. So that's basically how you make acid sounds. I've also routed it into a separate reverb channel. This basically just adds some reverb right onto the end of this acid sound. So after everything, after the delay and what have you, it goes straight into some reverb, and that's brilliant for fattening the sound up. That's pretty much it. So I'll just play it one last time and practice and enjoy.